We should talk about this massive DOJ lawsuit against America's favorite company, Live Nation, who of course owns Ticketmaster. We love them. They're the best. Definitely never had a bad experience with Ticketmaster. Is the sarcasm coming through? Because this lawsuit will reportedly allege that the company has, quote, leveraged its dominance in a way that undermined competition for ticketing live events. With this lawsuit making a lot of people happy, and notably, they likely have Taylor Swift to thank for this. With reporting indicating that 2022 ticketing fiasco with Swift's Eras tour was such a colossal fuck-up that it's one of the key reasons Live Nation has come under increased scrutiny. And the Wall Street Journal noting that the department's investigation gained momentum after Ticketmaster crashed and prevented thousands of Swifties from getting their tickets. With Ticketmaster having to learn the hard way that it's a life lesson. Swifties are like wolves. You can maybe deal with one-on-one, but when they're in a group, they will chew your ass up. They'll make a meal out of you. Fucking Swifties were protesting outside the U.S. Capitol building as the company executives testified before Congress. Though very notably, this was not the first or the last time Ticketmaster fucked up, which is also why so many people from so many different backgrounds are seeing this news as a positive. Right in 2019, the company had to apologize for botching the pre-sale for Billie Eilish concert tickets. And then last year, they started selling so-called listening seats for Beyonce concerts, which many viewed as a new way to squeeze revenue out of its biggest acts. Then just a few months ago, Olivia Rodrigo fans were freaking out over what they saw as Ticketmaster's mishandling of the launch of the ticket sales for her Guts World Tour. And even now this week, we're seeing performers turning their back on Ticketmaster, with it being reported that the internet's own Dimension 20 opts out of controversial Ticketmaster pricing after ticket costs climbed past $2,000, with them explaining on Sunday that the dynamic pricing system in Platinum tickets had not been something explained to us, nor something presented as something we had the ability to opt out of. And going on to say, once we had a better understanding of the situation as a group, we communicated to Live Nation that it was our desire to opt out of all dynamic pricing tickets for this event and for all events going forward. But of course, with all this, right, this is more than just persistent technical issues or overpriced tickets. Right? Although those high-profile cases are a big part of what's put Live Nation under the spotlight, this is actually an issue that's been going on for almost 15 years. Right? I mean, the DOJ actually filed a civil antitrust lawsuit to block the merger of Live Nation and Ticketmaster way back in 2010, saying back then that the merger as originally proposed would have substantially lessened competition for primary ticketing in the United States, resulting in higher prices and less innovation for consumers. But in the end there, the DOJ reached a settlement with the companies to allow the merger to go through, saying the move would actually benefit concert goers, artists, and the industry as a whole. And after that merger, Live Nation became the world's largest concert promoter, venue owner, and artist management company, with exclusive ticketing contracts with many of the stadiums and arenas where the biggest names perform. And Ticketmaster now holding more than 80% of the market for primary ticket sales in the biggest venues in the US. But despite the DOJ's promise, it's not clear that anyone's actually benefiting other than the company. And actually, notably with that, in 2019, the DOJ actually found that Live Nation repeatedly and over the course of several years engaged in conduct that violated the original settlement. And specifically, that the company threatens and retaliated against concert venues for using other ticketing companies. And that led to the 2010 settlement being revised and extending through 2025, with a modified agreement including a provision that would subject the company to a $1 million penalty for each violation of an anti-retaliation clause, right, which would prevent Live Nation from threatening to withhold shows if a venue sells seats through a company other than Ticketmaster. But again, despite that, the company has continued to face accusations of excessive ticket fees, poor customer service, and other anti-competitive practices. And these criticisms are coming from lawmakers, regulators, and states' attorneys general. Though, of course, the company, for its part, has denied. For example, in an essay published on Live Nation's website last month, the company's head of corporate affairs, Dan Wall, argued against the idea that Live Nation's and Ticketmaster's alleged monopolies are responsible for high ticket prices. And you had a Ticketmaster spokeswoman also saying that the company has more competition today than it has ever had. Though obviously, the Justice Department disagrees with that. But even with all that said, we are still now waiting for the lawsuit to officially be filed. So right now, we still don't know exactly what arguments are going to be making to counter Live Nation's claims. But when it does happen, of course, I'm going to get you those specifics. And until then, I'd love to know your thoughts.